welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. This is where we talk about all things thread and needle, mostly cross-stitch, mostly quilting, but again, anything with a thread and a needle and a little fiber action, I'm game for. So you never know what you'll find. Never know. So, I'm older. I'm wiser. It was my birthday and my mother's birthday. It was her birthday first, and I stole it away from her, much to her chagrin. But I am now the ripe age of 48 years old. I'm telling you, I'm looking back. It doesn't get worse, people. It only gets better. Do I wish I could bend over more? Yes, but I also recognize that that's within my control. It was not like the world's greatest birthday. It was great in the fact that it was my birthday, and that I had lots of friends and family wish me happy birthday, and that was lovely. But I wasn't feeling so hot. I had like a headache and a sore throat. Last Sunday, I was exposed to COVID. I did not get COVID, but I was exposed to it. And then Wednesday, I started feeling sick, which makes you think you had COVID. But I've tested negative. I am actually recording a day early because my birthday present is in Boone, and I'm going up there on Wednesday, which will be 10 days from first possible exposure, and just being extra cautious. Again, I've tested multiple times, not COVID, just cold or whatever. So it was a headache. It was like I had a headache for like 5 days, which is not optimal stitching physicality. So needless to say, I have not stitched a bit. Monday I woke up, my headache was finally gone, yay! My sore throat was gone, yay! So it was time to get to the sewing room, because I'm on vacation, darn it, and I think all vacations should be revolving around stitching. Mandatory. It's not a vacation if you can't stitch. So I have a pile of things that are non-cross stitch. Look, you can kind of see them. But to talk about. And I closed my door to my sewing room so you could see my mother's quilt. I'm going the wrong direction. Right there. Look up. So this was a graduation from college. College was the best 10 years of my life, and I am not a doctor. We'll just leave it at that. My mom did that, and she took a bunch of photographs over the years of her precious baby girl, and did like a log cabin around each photograph, and kindly wrote my initials and Go Gators, because I am a University of Florida Gator. Go Gators. And what you don't see on the other side is 2002. Yeah. It was a great time, people. Let me just be reflective a little bit. Each decade of my life has been fantastic. And I look forward to continuing that trend. Have my 40s slowed down a little bit? Well, sure. I've been married most of my 40s, all of my 40s. Good math. Each stage has been fantastic. And the older I get, the more knowledge I have, the larger ability to do the things I want to do. along with all the confidence that comes along with that. So I encourage you to look forward to your birthday. You have, at the very least, you have survived. And that, and alone, in and of itself, is often miraculous. Again, not that I've had as many toils and troubles as other people, but you know, you're grateful. I am grateful for everything I have gotten through, that we've survived, and the people who have been around me to help me through it. So, before I get teary about it, you can see I am in front of my sewing machine as per usual. I've been watching movies throughout this week. I am currently at the high point of Argo. I have a laundry list of movies that I like to repetitively watch. I am a repeat watcher of movies and shows. I don't know. Not everyone subscribes to that. Some people are one and dones. I prefer to have things memorized and only look up when I need to. This is a perfect sewing scenario. And I didn't want to watch Lord of the Rings, which is kind of my go-to marathon. I did finish Friends, though. I finished all 10 seasons of Friends, and so I need to continue to find something else to binge watch. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so I have not cross-stitched at all. I have been running my sewing machine the last 2 days. And like I said, I am videoing on Tuesday before Wednesday Stitchers, because the plan is to shimmy up the road to Boone Wednesday morning and go visit with my family. My niece is visiting her grandparents for the first time by herself, and we are all very ecstatic. So I definitely want to, she lives in New York, which may be too much information, but she does not live in the state of North Carolina, and so we don't get to see her very often. And she is 12, so it's an exciting time. Get her right in the preteen. I digress. I don't want to go into that too much because, privacy and all that jazz. Let's start off with birthday presents. Favorite neighbor Ron had something specially made for me, which means he made it, people. And I want to thank Floss for getting me jazzed about different things that inspired my neighbor to make it. So without further ado, look how pretty. It's so shiny in the light. Look, he did all of that. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Ron and Connie, favorite neighbors. I have already instructed him that I need to give this back to him because there's no signature, there's no date on it. Hello, Ron. Sign and date your gifts. But I absolutely love it. I have been using it already, and it works beautifully. I'm very excited. So, those of you who do not know what this chunk of wood is that I have, is that it is a tailor's clapper that my neighbor Ron made for me. It is designed so that when you iron, you set it on the thing that you ironed and it stays extra, it absorbs the heat slower, so it gets extra flat, which we all want flat projects. So last Sunday on my dad's birthday, happy birthday, Dad, I was inspired by one of the sewers who made some stitchy kindness for the team, or for the group, a couple of members of the group. She made little binders. I made one for my mother, and this is not going to go up before I show her, so, or give it to her, so I'm going to show you guys. I just untied it. So I had this, I'm pretty sure this is from my mother's stash that she's given me. So I opened it up and got a little pocket, and I just made my own stuff up. So I made little pockets here for stitchy notions. I put this little piece of, what am I trying to say, felt in the seam so she can do some needles there. There's 2 pockets on either side, and then this can be a little stitchy board, a design board as it were. And then this little loop, I didn't have any, can't see, this little loop here. I just made it out of ribbon because I didn't have any notions like a D-ring or a hook or something like that to attach threads to or whatnot. So that is my mother's birthday present. And I did not have a pattern. I just kind of went off of what I just basically copied. I took a couple pictures of what the ladies had. It's not 100% how I would like it, but I'm very pleased with it. It's probably an 8 by 10 size. It could probably have been a little smaller, but I really like it. And all that fabric, I'm pretty sure my mother's given me. So, a little to me from me, so to speak. My good friend who made me the art from the last video, Abby, if you don't want to see this in its full integrity, look away, fast forward. But you don't like surprises anyway, so I don't mind if you peek as well. But she knits and crochets, and she wanted a project bag, and she needs one that zips because her cats get into the yarn. So this is what I made her. This is, look at this cute project bag. I bought that fabric for her and finally was able to get it into a project bag. I did not, again, use a pattern, but it has a gusset, and I wanted to get a gusset, do a bag with a gusset. This is the back print, just a little geometric, and then this is the interior print. It's got a couple of puckers, but that's how you know I made it, and it was not store-bought. So, but when I flash it like this, you don't see that. You don't know what I'm talking about. So, I hope that she enjoys it. And I need to get that off in the mail to her. Making my piles elsewhere. I also, one of the stitchers in my new sewing group said she would like to have a bag, because I've been making bags to my projects in to go to this group. And so I said I'd be happy to. She said, I'll pay you. And I'm sorry, you can't pay me because the minute I get paid, it becomes a job, and then I no longer want to do it. I don't know if anybody else understands that, but it's how I feel. So some stitchy kindness going out on Sunday, and if you're part of that sewing group and you don't want to see it, and I told you I was going to make you a bag, look away. Alright, so this is it. So I have been using soft and stable foam instead of batting. And I like, it gives it a little bit more heft, but I felt like I needed to quilt the fabric to it so it didn't get wrinkly. And these are 2 complementary patterns that I had from a a de-stash situation. So there you go. And it's with the vinyl front and my new signature pom-pom zipper pull. Previously known as a paperclip. So, made one of those each day. I made this today. And then I made something else. I'm going to talk about for my mother-in-law. Her birthday is in August, so I think I'm going to keep it until her birthday. I don't know. Undecided. So her husband, my father-in-law, passed away maybe 2 years ago at this point. Whenever you spend 65 years with somebody and they're no longer in your life, then it's very sad. Not that she's not doing okay, but I think for whatever reason there's a little guilt involved, and never really imagined this part of their life. So Pat continually finds things that are sentimental, and she found 2 towels, essentially, a washcloth and a towel that Herb used when he exercised. So these are 2 towels that he kept aside that he would wipe his sweat off as he was working out, because he was in Special Forces Army Reserve, and so he kept up his fitness pretty well. These towels are ugly. They're just ugly. But they mean a great deal to her because they're sentimental. So I was like, she asked me, could you make something out of this? I'm like, what? God, why? Why would I make anything out of these things? But that is not for me to question. It was for me to figure out. So, since she has recently had a stroke and is not as mobile as she used to be, I thought maybe a fidget quilt of some sort might be appropriate for her. And I said, would that be okay for you? And she said yes. Whether she remembers this conversation or not is also questionable, but it is now made. So let me show you what I made. That's the front. This is the back. Again, she likes Southwestern. This is something that she has given me. I got some washers on here. This isn't as tight as I had hoped it would be, but it is what it is. When you open it, again, signature. This one's a doxy. How cute is that? See, that's why I'm glad I figured out zipper pulls for those things, because you want to use them, but you don't know what to use them for. And then on the inside of the zipper, it's a pouch. So I made these letters for her to take out and fidget with. See if I can get them. I'm missing one. There we go. The Y. I don't know how I'm going to show this to you, because they're going to slide all over, and I don't. Here, let me grab my board. Hold, please. So I made, where, like it said, Herb, I made some letters that say Army, and I put them on felt, and then I cut them out with pinking shears. So, in Army colors. Ooh. So that will be inside, so she can take it out and spell. I was a little stuck. I knew I wanted to do the Herb, but I didn't know what I wanted to do on top. So I basically Googled, I've made fidget quilts before with the Charlotte Quilters Guild. They often make fidget quilts, and you just kind of do your own thing. Just have things on there for, tying bows, or this is a cool idea that I got. If you use some tulle and you make like a little maze and put buttons in there and try and get them through. Stuff that can sit softly in somebody's lap that they can easily play with, that is something that is rudimentary, that can help with dexterity and imagination and memory, those kinds of things. You can get very creative with them. So, but this was the washcloth, and this was the towel. So I hope that she likes it. Mike is worried that she's going to cry, and I'm like, perfect. Because of course she's going to cry. She's not a monster. She's just a mother-in-law. So I made that. And I used this book, thanks to my mommy, for the alphabet. Oh, I think it's raining. I want to show a couple things. Well, here, I can show the back. Look how cool that is. There's been a lot of modern quilts with letters and words in them. So there's a bunch of projects in here, and several alphabets that show you how to block them if you're going to piece them. And then there's a paper, I'm going to show it this way, that came in the back of the book for applique. I'm just going to put it back in so I don't lose it. So yeah, it's 6 complete alphabets and some good projects that go with it. I don't know how old this book is. Let's see if I can find out. First edition, 2019. 2019, not too old. I recommend it. It's got some cute projects, some cute inspiration. I mean, look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? I could do that. Sleepy, sleepy. So that has been my stitching adventure for the last 2 days. And man, I just want to keep doing it. But I'm just going to bring my cross stitch up instead, because that's probably what I'll have time for when I'm up in Boone, visiting with the grandchild / niece, watching the dog be crazy. She's finally in her bed. She's been very busy today. But we won't be gone too long, just a couple days and back, because Sunday is another stitching day with the new sewing group, and I can't miss that. Can't miss coffee and chatting. I'm supposed to have another, our guild bee has started back up, or is trying to get back together, and I haven't checked my email, but I am going to probably miss that because it's going to be at 1 o'clock, and I'll be in Boone. But I look forward to seeing those ladies again. You can't have too many stitching friends, people. I hope that you've learned this lesson. So that's kind of my plans and my week. I have come to the conclusion over the last 2 days that my sewing room is a mess, and it's gonna stay that way. The main thing is that my fabric is disorganized, and I think it's just gonna have to stay that way. The other thing I've come to terms with is that I really don't need to buy anything. I really have just enough of things. I do. With that said, I do need to buy more vinyl. I do need to buy more stabilizer, because I've been making things like a fiend. But I don't really need to buy more fabric. I need to work with what I have. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Because I really do want to, I do want to buy some solids for a quilt for a friend of mine. But I don't know. I don't know if I can make it work with what I have. We'll see. Creativity comes when you have a challenge around it, when you confine it to something, and then you have to be creative to get out of it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not holding my breath because I do want to go to stash, basically is what it is. So we'll see how that works out for me. But you all have a lovely, lovely week. I hope you enjoyed looking at my projects, even if they weren't really cross-stitch related yet at the moment. I promise I'm not giving up on it. Just not what was in the cards right now. I wanted to get I'm on vacation. I don't get to sit in here and sew as much. When I get home from work, I don't really want to come in here and turn all the things on and get hot from the heat, from the iron and all that kind of stuff. So kind of want to just be quiet and do my cross stitch. But I will do that tomorrow and on Sunday for sure. So I'll have things to talk about. Until then, I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. God willing that I am not sick next week, because I got an angry text from Ron. We're all ready. Where's the video? So really, you guys need to put some thank you notes to Ron in the comments, because if it weren't really for Ron, I don't know if I would still be doing these. But I am grateful for the encouragement, and that's not entirely true. It's just mostly true. Everyone needs to be prodded a little bit, right? Alright, I need to find a sign-off of some sort, because saying goodbye is what I usually jabber on the most about. But I'm going to go, because I need to do laundry, and now I need to enjoy the rain, and I need to finish Argo. Because they're about to escape from Iran, and it's very exciting. I don't know if they'll make it this time, so I've got to watch it to make sure they make it out okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.